Hello everyone, welcome back to HTML level 2 training. So in this tutorial we are going to be looking at the introduction to HTML level 2 and how to create tables on our web page. So after that I'll be giving a table quiz, like an assignment for you guys to do. So in this level 2 we are going to be looking at introduction, how to create tables on a web page, form basics, forms and label, comment, form selection, and the latest HTML5 syntax. So in today's tutorial I'm just going to be looking at two things, which is the introduction and how to create tables on a web page. So after that we'll be given a quiz to complete. So without wasting much of our time, let's move to VS Code. So now I'm on my VS Code and we have this folder name HTML level 1. So I want everyone to create another folder and name it HTML level 2. So I'll just name this HTML level 2 because we are moving on to level 2. So now inside this HTML level 2 we are going to be creating our new files for working, and it's today's tutorial will be looking at tables, how to create tables on our website. So I'll just name it tables.html. So table.html. Once I do that, we have our file open, so I can just collapse this now. So the next thing to do is to create the basic skeleton of HTML. So that's HTML, then the head, followed by the title. And what is the title? The title is how to create tables. How to create tables on the web page. So that is our title. So I'm just going to copy this and put it inside an header. So I'll come to the body. Let me create the body part. That's the body of our HTML skeleton. Inside this body I'm going to call the h2 tag. That's h2, and I'll place how to create tables on a web page. So this will be displayed on our web page, how to create table. So let me just paste it, Ctrl V, and save. Once I save and go to the web page, it's going to be displayed here. By now we must have known how to create the HTML skeleton, and the next thing for me to do now is to copy the path. So I'll just copy the path here. I'll copy the path and move to my web browser, paste it there and display. So this is my web browser. Then here I'm going to paste the path I copied. So once I click enter, it's going to show how to create tables on a web page. So let me go back to VS Code. Now I'm on my VS Code. So to create table, we have some special tags for creating tables in HTML. It may kind of look complex, but just follow along with the way I'm doing it, and I'm going to be explaining. With that, I'm going to get what we are trying to do. So now to create tables in HTML, we have some basic tags we use. So I'm just going to name them out. First thing to know is that to create table, we are going to let the editor we are using, like the HTML, know that we want to create table, and to do that we are going to call the table tag. So we'll call the table tag TABA. So once you call this tag, HTML automatically knows that the programmer wants to create a table on the web page. So the next thing to do is to call the T-head. That's the table head. So inside this T-head, once you call this T-head, HTML also knows that we want to create an headings. We want to create headings because we know that inside a table we have headings in a table. Like let's say you want to list all the first 20 elements we have in what will you call it, in chemistry, like the hydrogen, lithium. You can say okay, the numbering, the names, the atomic number, and so on. So those are the headings. So that's why we have this T head, and there's another sub tag inside this T head that's going to hold those data, I mean those text. So now to do that, we are going to call th. So this th is the table index, like the index in which those texts are going to stay. So let's say I want to create the first 20 elements. I'll write the sn. So let me just save this, and okay, let me move to the next part. Before that, I'm going to go to the web page first. Let me save this and go to the web page and refresh, and let's see what is there. So we see that we have this cn displayed here, I mean sn displayed. So let me go back to the viewer. So I'm going to add more ts to it. So the next thing I'm going to add is th, that's the index. The next thing I'm going to add is the name of the element you want to list. You can list out anything, like you can use the table to create anything on the web page. So this is just for practical use and example to let you guys know how to do that. So the next thing to write, let's say we want to add the atomic number of those elements we are going to use for practice. So now we can also add image, another table index, that's images of those elements we are adding. So once I save this and go to the web page and refresh, we are going to have this, that's the sn, the name, the atomic number, and the images. So let me go back to the VS Code and list out the first 20 elements we have in chemistry. So to do that, we are going to call the table row, that's tr. Inside this table row, it has another sub tag for holding those data. So that is called td, that is the table data. So inside this table data is going to hold those actual elements we are adding. So let me just write the first 5 to save time. That's hydrogen, so the first heading we have is the sn, followed by the name of the element, followed by the atomic number, and followed by the image of the element. So inside this table data, that is td, inside this table data we are adding this, that's the sn, which is number 1. The first one is 1. Then we'll be having the name next. Call another table data and we give it the name. The name of the first element is hydrogen. Then move to the next line. The next data we are inputting is the atomic number. The atomic number is also 1. So let me just use words to create that. So followed by the image, and this image we are going to use img to add image to it. We know that before now. So img to add image to it. So I'm just going to leave it like this for now because the images are not ready yet. When it's time for inputting those images, I'll just come there and add those images to it. So let me save this and refresh. Once I save and go back to the web page and refresh, it's coming out as number 1. The first name is hydrogen, and the atomic number is 1. So in the image part we have nothing for now. So we will be noticing that this table we are creating is not taking form of table now, because for us to create table have some kind of border lines and for demarcation. So to do that, to make it more understandable that we are using a table, we'll come back to the VS Code, and inside this table we are going to add a border. so give it a border, and that border is going to take a thickness of 1. You can add thickness of 2. Let me save this and refresh first. So once I refresh this, you can see that we have a thin border here. So let's say we are giving it a thickness of 3, or sorry, 3. So once I save and refresh, it's going to be more bold than what we have. So we notice that the boldness has changed. So I'm just going to leave it in 1, because we'll be working with 1. So let me leave it in 1. So that's the thickness, normal thickness for creating table. You can use any thickness you want. So let me save and refresh. So it go back to the normal way it ought to be. So this is how to create tables on HTML. Let's continue creating the remaining data. So where do we stop? We stop at the first row, and I said we should create 5 rows to save time. So I'm just going to copy this table row here. I'll copy it, and there's one more thing I want you guys to know. When creating tables in HTML, we can only have one head, which is the table head, but we can have as many rows that we can add to it. Like now, this is the first line, the first rule of the table we are creating. So once I have to create another row, I've copied it, and I've copied this upper row. I'll just paste it here and edit it. Let's say the next element is helium. We have helium, and the SN is 2. The atomic number of helium is also 2. So I have not added image here. So once I save and refresh, you are going to notice we come up with another new row. So this is name number 2, helium, and the atomic number is 2. The images part is still left blank, so we are going to work on that soon. So I'm going to copy this again, copy it and paste it to the next line. Let me Ctrl V, next line, Ctrl V, next line, Ctrl V. So I'm just going to edit them. So we have hydrogen, helium, then followed by lithium. If I'm correct, lithium, the atomic number is 3, and the SN should be 3. So followed by what again? After lithium, we have beryllium. I think beryllium, yes. So the atomic number is 4, FOUR. The SN should be 4, and let me leave the image as it is. So after beryllium, we have after that we have boron. So boron, and I think the atomic number is 5. Yes, that is using words 5. Okay, I think there's a mistake here, so go back to the next line. Sorry guys. So the next element is boron, BRON, and this should be 3. Oh sorry, this should be 5. And this also should be 5. So the image is still left blank. So once I go back to the web page and refresh, they are going to be listed out. For us over there, we have enough time. You can list out all the 20 elements, or list as much as possible as you want. So we have the atomic number, we have the images. Let's add one more thing. Let's add the symbol for those elements we are writing. So yeah, I'm just going to add another table data for each of them, but before that I'm going to add the table head and name it symbol. So another th symbol. So once I save this and refresh and go back to the page, it's going to be added automatically. So now we don't have any elements, we don't have any data yet for it. So let's go back and add some data to it. So once I add the data here now, that's TD, the element symbol for hydrogen is H, so is H. I'll just copy this, let me copy this and paste it to the next rows, table rows that we have. Ctrl V. For helium, I think it's HE, so move to the next table row, Ctrl V. Then for lithium we have Li, move to the next. For beryllium I think we have Be, Ctrl V. We have Be for beryllium, Be. And for boron I think it's just ordinary B, Ctrl Z. So ordinary B. Once I save this and refresh our web page, they are going to be listed out. So you can see that we have helium, hydrogen, helium, lithium, beryllium and boron. So they are all listed out. So this is how to create web page. This is how to create tables on our web page. So to add images now, this is how we can do it. Let me go back to the VS Code and move to the beginning of the web page. Instead of showing you guys how to add it here, during our HTML level 1 training, I've already showed you guys how to add images to the web page. So using that same analogy, we are going to add images to this table we have just created. So your quiz now will be for you to download hydrogen image, helium image, lithium image, beryllium image and boron. So once you have those images downloaded, you add them to this empty image tag here. You don't have to add image using source and so on. So you are going to add them here. You add an image for hydrogen, you add image for helium, you add image for lithium, for beryllium and boron. Once you are done with that, all you have to do is to screenshot what you have done. You screenshot it and submit it to the group for correction. So this will be all for today, guys. This is where we stop how to create tables on a web page. So your assignment is to add image to fill up this blank image rows. So once you are done with that, move on to the next. You submit your assignment to the group so you can move on to the next agenda, the timetable. So see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.